Good Saturday morning, the 19th of October. Welcome to the Jonathan Crompton Coaches Show, inside Mountaineer football. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
And we're waiting on Chuck. Chuck will link up when he can. Chuck had a long night last night, and we hope we're not having any internet issues. So, good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning.
Just what a week! What a different week. Didn't get the outcome we wanted last night, but man, before we kind of get into the game itself, just real quick we traveled really well out to Mills River. Really played our guts out. Those kids were amazing. The break here or there. Last night's the first night that I can remember that we just weren't able to get in a rhythm in the passing game. They did some things defensively that I was kind of impressed with for me. But several times the kids could have kind of just laid down, and man, they bowed their neck and they kept playing and they kept playing and they kept playing. And I can't emphasize enough, if you look at the schedule from when this thing rebooted a week ago yesterday, your bunch had the toughest road. Pull your microphone that's turned sideways. But your kids, just a heck of an effort.
Oh yeah, our kids battled through in 3 games in 7 days, and 2 of them being 2 of the most physical teams in the conference. But the pass game, I mean, the easiest thing to be the most inconsistent on is the pass game, when all you can do is walk through because you got 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah,
we couldn't run at practice, just out of necessity for health. That's not an excuse. That's just the reality. Timing routes are timing routes for a reason and things like that. But our kids came through and played their hearts out. I'm extremely proud of how they fought, how they didn't quit, how they didn't fold on each other, how they stayed in the game, and understanding that our defense is not giving up many points.
No.
That punt return, and do we got to stay in coverage? Yeah. But do we got to have 2 holding calls where guys get tackled? Yeah. That's not an excuse. That's just the harsh reality. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
I can admit when I mess up, they need to start taking ownership on their part.
So I noticed that little things that you guys had to do that were just to do anything to make sure that these young guys were able to compete. Is it like even your warm up? No shoulder pads, no nothing until the last second. You guys basically were doing, even in pregame, almost just the walkthrough to keep them from as little exertion as possible. Because I go back and I in 3 games in 7 days against really hard, good opponents, and you're right there in both games, and this you're still in a good spot.
Yeah,
you're still in a good spot.
We're fine. Everything we want to accomplish at the end is still in front of us. We just got to get healthy as much as we can, because you're beat up in a football season, but you're telling me you're sure as hell beat up after 3 games in 7 days. That's the reality. Especially nail biters and the physicality of the game and physicality of how Franklin plays, and then with West, you're going to get 85% outside zone, and that's okay, but it's a physical game. It is.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that I'm proud of our kids for, is fighting through that. As many kids we got playing both ways, not coming off the field. I was telling them the other day. A couple of our linemen, especially like Jesse Bledsoe. Well, Travis Hunter can play 135 whatever plays on offensive defense for Colorado. Jesse played about 155 of those behind an interior line, offensive defense. So I mean that's an accomplishment. that's a hard thing to do. So, like I said, extremely proud of how they fought, how they played for their brother beside them. I'm working on your microphone. Sorry. Good. So that's like I said, that's what I take away. Kudos to West for being able to make one extra play. But the bottom line is our kids they feel every play from last night. I can tell you that. West Henderson feels every play from last night. And that's how you should feel after you play Tuscola, is the physicality we're gonna play with. And that's, like I said, that's where I'm proud of as hell of our guys. I really am. Played their butts off. Guys trying to come back from injuries early in the year. Staying in the game plan. So it was good to see that there's zero quit in this team.
Yeah.
They just, and no matter what point of the game. I mean, it would have been easy to fold right there right before their last field goal attempt. I chose not to go for a block because I knew he couldn't make it from that distance. Watching him pregame, he was not going to get a 42-yard field goal. So I said, they were like, come off the edge. I said, no, just distract in the middle, get a good push, jump in case he kicks it low, but he didn't have the leg to make it. And that's the stuff that, we gave ourselves a chance. We could have folded right there after that turnover, but our defense, that's not what they do.
No. And just the again, you want one more point than your opponent on the scoreboard. That's why you play the game. Mm-hmm. But on the way home last night, was just I'm sitting there thinking about, okay, you guys are not out of what you want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. They got another tough physical opponent coming up Friday, but at least we got 6 days to.
Well, it's a normal
week. Smokey's coming in. Oh, hey, it's senior night. I can't believe we're saying that already.
Senior night and homecoming.
Senior night and homecoming at CE Weatherby next week, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first quarter, and Chuck and I, and again, folks, are waiting on Chuck to get hooked up this morning. I was concerned about our internet issue, but I think Chuck's having some internet issues. But anyway, we had talked all week about the first 6 to 8 minutes of the ball game last night were going to be extremely important for the Mountaineers, because when you compile East, Franklin, and then how you react the first few minutes last night, mm-hmm. we're going to be a big story. And the first few minutes of the game, you're going, uh-oh,
I wasn't.
I understand, but
none of us were, because here's why. They didn't do anything. They hit a cutback on a counter. That was the only play they hit in the first 8 minutes. Because I'm telling you, our defense is tough to run the ball against.
Yeah,
plain and simple. What does our conference do?
Yep,
run the ball. It is tough to run the ball against our defense, and they hit one backside cutback on counter, and that was the only play they made outside the punt return. Which, open your eyes.
Yep.
They need to open their damn eyes and understand that this is not an authoritarian situation. Stop trying to show your authority and stop trying to directly affect the outcome of games that these teenagers have busted their butts for multiple times in a week. And it's not just on one side, but that's my issue.
So
that's, and I'm just telling you, I'm not done speaking on that today.
So anyway, kind of survived getting down a little bit. And then, the punt return, you're down 14. You're thinking, okay, how are they going to react? And that's where the character of the kids mm-hmm. was just something that I was truly inspired to watch them play, because if you understand the game, not just some Yahoo sitting in the stands and hollering and screaming, but if you truly understand the game and understand the physicality of the game, the last 2.5 quarters were something to behold because again they could have folded and they didn't, and they just kept getting up, and you had kids come in, you know, giving somebody a blow, then the other one's coming in, and you guys slowly were able to get back in the game. Our kicking game is man, Christopher.
Yeah.
Christopher.
Well, the thing about, as you said, slowly get back in the game. Well, we figured out they weren't going to adjust defensively to certain sets, so we stayed in it. And I said, guys, they're not going to adjust. We're going to keep running the same play. Yeah, I mean, that's just, to me, that's kind of common sense there. You know, they didn't adjust to certain sets. So we just kept saying, hey, 3 and 11, run the football, you know, and then Cooper out there being the pitch man on certain situations. Receivers blocked their butts off last night. They really did. They understand our schematics of what we want to do and who they're supposed to block in certain formations. And I thought all receivers last night blocked their butts off, but especially two specific instances that come to my mind is when we had a bunch set into our boundary and they tried to loop a backer right before the snap, and Isaiah Hyatt, which it wasn't actually, if you think about it, wasn't really his guy, but he understood that somebody may not have seen him. He went in there and sacrificed himself and dug him out to get us to bounce outside. Same thing with Sam Decker later in the game, and getting a down block from a wide receiver standpoint on a linebacker to give our tailback a chance to bounce an outside zone. Those are the things that were great to see because that shows the understanding of the system and understanding of being a selfless team player. And I know obviously our pass game wasn't overly effective last night, and that's credit to 3 games, 7 days, can't hardly run at practice to be safe. Those things, but guess what did show up last night? A run game, which was a very encouraging thing to do. And what's so crucial in the run game is blocking on the edge, wide receiver blocking. Our guys are willing to go put their body on the line to help their buddy out, just like they expect the running back to put their body on the line to block if we're trying to do a certain protection to get them the ball down the field. That's what's fun to see about this team. And, I mean, we ran the ball hard last night. From all 4 that ran the ball hard last night. The linebackers and DBs this morning cannot sit there and say they didn't feel our guys lowering their shoulder. And that's encouraging to see. Because we're going to need the run game down the road. You know what I mean? We're going to need a 4th and 1 or whatever. Because we went for it on 4th and 5 and 4th and 6 and ran the football and got both of them. That's a very encouraging thing to see. 4th and 5 and 4th and 6, run the ball up the middle and trusting our O-line, trusting our tailbacks and our tight ends and receivers to execute the play. And 4th and 5 and 4th and 6, that's kind of the tweener zone. You're not really like the whole playbook's open, but do you take a chance in certain coverages, certain route combos? They know you're just trying to get to the sticks. What do you do? And it was very, very encouraging to see those 2 down and distances on 4th down to say, we're going to bow our neck and run the football and get a first down.
Yep. And it's one of those ones. It's just a snap here, a snap there. Overtime. And if we were laughing, talking about the coin flip. The coin flip has not been good to us this year, and you always want to be able to be on defense first in overtime. Yeah. But we went out and got down in there, and you're in the area where you got to make a decision. We're going to go for 3 because we've got Christopher and we've got those guys up front and do a really good job of that. And get the points. Yeah. Because you're going to take points there.
Now, if it was still 4th and 1, I would have went for it.
Yeah.
But 4th and 4 overtime,
you got to take the points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And y'all know well enough, I'm a high risk, high reward guy. If it was 1 or 2, there's a 98% chance we would have went for it in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? But at that moment, it was smart to just go ahead and take the points because our defense was playing lights out.
Because it was really hard to tell what the yardage was. I couldn't tell if it was 4th and 1. I couldn't tell if it was 4th. I did not know it was 4th and 4.
But
I didn't know that.
I'm just going off of my head at the moment. But if they didn't spot the ball where it originally was with 3rd and 1, you know, I know spots are judgment based, but there was one earlier that they got a loss of yards and on a 2nd and 1, and somehow they got a 1st down. I don't know. I wasn't taking a chance, and I wasn't allowed to talk to him at that point because, authoritarians.
So, good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. My apologies.
I just want to make you.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was just worried. I thought something had happened. And
I hit the button.
Well, you need some of your caffeine and chaos this morning.
Hey, I'm running on 0 coffee right now.
We're going to take him off.
Uh-oh.
So we, get the points.
Yeah.
Back on defense, bowed their neck. Really, really did a great. I think they picked up like 3. I think 3 on first. It was they picked up 3 on 1st down, 2nd and 7. Really good play on 2nd down. Great defense there.
Oh yeah.
And when I was leaving, last night, you were kind of beating yourself up a little bit, and I quite didn't hear because I was I just wanted to go home. I'm old and I'm tired, and I just wanted to get back here. But I don't think at that point that I think our kids were really playing well on the edge defensively. It was going to be really hard for them to get to complete a pass, and I just don't believe that and they knew Paul they weren't going to be able to run their zone at that point. Their outside zone and get what they needed. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that they trusted their kicking game to they were in the spot where it could have been, but again, kudos to them for that quarterback throwback.
Well, we knew a trick play was coming.
Yeah.
Literally knew a trick play was coming, but at that point it's trick plays. You don't really know exactly what.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the game. Our game plan all week was to make them beat us throwing the football, and they couldn't beat us throwing the football. They couldn't beat us running the football. You know what I'm saying? For overtime, they only scored 7 points. Our defense bowed their neck. Our defense, I'm telling you guys, our defense is damn good. And I'm not making excuses because you go ask our team. But 3 games in 7 days against the opponents that we've had it's not an easy task. You know what? Our school agreed to the schedule as well. We just wanted to make sure we got our 10 games in. So we were going to take, we'll take the short end of the stick and get the 3 games in the first week back and knock it out. It is what it is. So now we got to go play our game. Obviously, like I said earlier, we got to start faster. It's easier said than done when you got fresh legs or fresher. You're never fresh at this point in the season. Nobody is. But fresher legs playing on a Tuesday and then a Friday is no easy task. It's just not. Especially, with football. Let me say it that way. And that's the thing. So our guys came out. And we tried to make sure we were as conditioned as possible, as legs underneath us as possible, as we could, and go play in a hostile environment on the road and against a team that is, until they're taken off the top, they were conference champs last year. But you know what? Everybody this year, it's not like we're no slouch, and people have seen that. We said this at the beginning of the year. Our conference is good top to bottom. It is deep top to bottom. It is. But you know what? I'm gonna be vocal about our team. We're damn good, and everybody that we played knows that, regardless of record. So I'm gonna back my guys 100%. I got a flag last night because of a BS call that they called on a touchdown, and that's okay. So I got in the huddle and said, guys, hey, I just got one. Get my back. What do? We go down and score because they understand. They know that we all have each other's back. And I will die on that hill. That was a phenomenal block by Isaiah Hyatt. Phenomenal. Hands inside, jersey never moved, but our guys get tackled. It is what it is. You know what? We know who we're playing against. And I'm not talking about opponents. We know who we're playing against in the zebra stripes. We know that. And, it is what it is. Did that directly affect the outcome of the game? It could have, but guess what? What did we do at the end of that drive? We scored because our kids have the resiliency. Our kids have the composure to overcome adversity like that. It's plain and simple.
So, and before I throw it over to Chuck, I'm trying to let Chuck kind of get moving a little bit. So we got Smokey at home, another big physical football team.
Smokey's good.
So this week, is it back to normal? What do you do to make sure they keep their legs? Are you going to use a little bit of what you had to do the last 6 days? Or, kind of, I know about, the team moms and the hydration and the food, but internally,
it just depends. I've got a couple of different plans in my head. It just depends on how everybody. I'll reach out today to a lot of the guys and see how they're feeling. It literally depends on health at that point. I'm not going to be stubborn and say, we're doing this, and this, regardless at the moment. At the second, I've got about 2 or 3 plans just in case for practice. We obviously like it to be normal, but that's not necessarily the case at this point.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I don't want to sit here and lie to you about it. We have a couple plans on how we can handle it. We'll just kind of see how the kids feel with, quads, hamstrings, calves, shoulders, like how sore they are or anything like that for Monday.
Okay. So Smoky Mountain, Chuck.
Yeah.
Coming over the mountain.
That and they're the up and coming team, I think. They're the guys that are knocking on that front door and saying, "Hey, don't forget about us." They're a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
They challenged your county rival a couple weeks. Prior, seemed like a couple weeks, much longer than that. But they're a good football team, and they're physical. And the key for what you did. For what Tuscola did, it's been done before, but you got to look at your football team. And I told your dad last night, watching some of the stuff, is that I don't know how they're out there playing. Their valiant effort last night, and then it went overtime, as if you needed an overtime period. It went OT. Like, where are we going? You were playing. You were driving your car on empty, and it just kind of still kept going, but you were just driving your car on empty. And for you, the coaching staff, to get that kind of effort out of your kids and playing, just leaving it out on the field, you should be applauded for that. That was just an incredible, from top to bottom, effort out of you guys, and a job well done.
And
I appreciate that, because here's the thing.
Let me real quick. Have you ever seen Seinfeld?
Oh yeah,
that's Kramer driving the car down the road, and they go, "It's on empty," and he goes, "Let's go, baby." So
and that's like our kids. It's the way that they play for each other is just fun to watch. In all honesty, the way they have each other's back, the way that they treat each other after a positive or negative play, because that's what we preach on, guys. There's good stuff going to happen, bad stuff going to happen. That's a football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, positive is going to happen, negative is going to happen. How we respond is going to determine how we finish that game and the definition of our team. We respond very well because the kids love each other. They will play. They will, they'll get in that foxhole with each other and play and go play ball, or those old cliche, they'll jump on that grenade for each other. So that's the thing.
You're not going to lose your team at the supper table, is what
no.
Travis Nolan's old saying. Yeah.
No, and I don't think so because we've got a great group of kids. We really do. You don't like back-to-back heartbreaking losses. You don't. Nobody does if you're a competitor.
Woo.
But you know what? The way I look at it is none of us tried to skim out. We wanted to play 10 games. And
somebody had to get the short end of the stick. That's well said.
And that's okay. That's part of it. You know what? I trust our kids. Our kids trust our staff. And we're going to go ride together. And it's a phenomenal group to coach, phenomenal group to be around, but we're not done yet. We still got senior night and homecoming coming up next Friday, which is obviously going to be a weird deal because it's both in one night because of what happened with the floods. And so, we're excited for our fans to be able to experience that, excited for all the people on homecoming court to experience that, and have our seniors recognized for fall sports and go out there and just compete and play.
Yeah. So, Chuck.
Yes.
Now that I can have a little levity with you, because honestly, I was telling Jonathan, I said, and something's wrong with Chuck. And that's why I sent that text just a minute ago. I was telling Jonathan, I'm going, man, this is not good because Chuck is like me. If the game starts at 6:00, I want to be in the parking lot at noon, So if the show starts at 8, I'm going to be ready at 5:30 in the morning. And you're kind of the same way. So you gave me a little fright this morning, you little turkey. But
a 66-year-old fart, I can do that once in a while.
But you are you're a two-sport Hall of Fame athlete at your college, and I'm saying that to say that from the perspective of the football side,
right.
Your body in every position, the kids up front, man. But I look at 3-spot for us, and man, 60. I'm just using numbers this morning because I'm very emotional about what I've seen the last 6 days, and a play here, a play there, and instead of us going back and having and fighting for this thing, we win both those games, but we didn't. But man, your body to play that much football in that short a time, that's a heck of a lot to go. I don't care that you're 16, 17, or 18. This isn't going out and playing 18 holes of golf 3 times this week. You know what I'm saying, Chuck? I mean, you kind of give me your perspective on what, I know you're talking about how proud and all that good stuff, but I'm talking about just the physicality of what they have done is, to me, is pretty darn special.
Kids are resilient, and they also can bounce back. When you have you get all excited and you play on a Friday night and you win, and then you got 2 of the conference's toughest opponents, 2 teams that are notoriously very physical football teams as of late. One always every year seems to be in Franklin, and you have to play them within 72 hours. I've never done this. I've never done it. To ask these kids to do something they bought in, they want to play 10 games, they want to go to the playoffs. And in order to do it, they had to go play 3 games in 7 days. And, your body is when I saw last night the film while you were sending it to me, I said it's like they were playing in sand. It had caught up with them. The brutality of the game, the physicalness they had, but they fought through it. And so when you, Jonathan, and anybody that played football, high school football, college football, whatever it may be, the day after the game, the 2 days after the game, you're hurting. That's why in the NFL, when you play on a Sunday, they give you typically to Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, if it's a real physical game, to recover. So right now, these kids are recovering. And when you get Monday, you just look. You did your mission. Your mission was to play 3 games in 7 days, so you could play 10.
Yeah.
Nothing was said. Nothing was said about saying we're going to win all 3. We must win all 3. It's that we got to get back to playing football, and your mission was accomplished. You're not out of it, and you can look down the road and say, okay, Smoky Mountain, I feel sorry for the next 3 opponents that you play. I mean, seriously, you have a team that is now on that mission of, okay, we're going to run the stretch. And, we're going to win all the games out there. You got a real tough rivalry game at the end, which, it's supposed to be exciting. But I just don't know how the kid – I watched that, and I just told your dad, I don't know how they're doing it. I know week by week, but I don't know how these kids at this age are doing it.
Yeah,
but
because – and then I'll throw it over to you, Jonathan, and we're going to start talking about Smokey. I can remember in 2009, we were standing outside the locker room in Tuscaloosa after the field goal game down there, and when you came out of the locker room, and the look on your mom's face when she saw you, and you were physically. It was like you had been in a 15-round boxing match from head to toe, ice, purple, and your mama started crying. I'll never forget her face when she saw you and she started crying and go, my God, that's how I feel such about these kids and what they have just accomplished. I am amazed at them. I am in awe of them.
Yeah, but because here's the thing. Y'all are getting
I'm proud of
No, I know. Y'all are getting emotional about it. I'm gonna tell you. Y'all gonna have to kill our kids to get them something. I don't care. I'll die on this. I got the toughest team in the conference physically. And it is what it is. Like physically and mentally, our kids are the toughest sons of guns there are. And that's a fact. I'll die on that hill. You know what I mean? Like, hey, our kids owned it. They knew what we're up against. And they're gonna go play. And you're going to have to physically murder them to get them off that field. That's their mindset. Hey, we're not looking for a pity party.
No.
At all. I promise you that. We're not looking for a damn ounce of pity. Because the reality is our kids are tough as hell. Right? Mentally, physically, they love each other and they're going to go ride with each other. It's that simple. We're not looking for a pity party. We had 3 games in 7 days. And guess what? We had the most physical part. But I guarantee you, those 3 teams are physically hurting worse than we are. That's how physical our defense is. That's how physical our O-line and tight ends are.
I can't wait to see Austin.
That's how physical our tailbacks are. Lowering their shoulder and going, all right, this is my 3rd game. This is your 2nd. You're about to feel the boom. We don't want pity.
No, and that's not what you're getting.
No. We don't. We want to play football.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And guess what we got to do? Yeah. We play football, and I can tell you right now, here's the definition of our team. Ty Walker, number 11, his helmet breaks. No, I say breaks, but
yeah.
It didn't break, right? So he go, hey, coach, I need a helmet. Cool, we got a 12th man bag. He goes and puts on a non-decaled helmet that is his size, but he's never put it on, puts it on, goes and trucks a corner the very next play. It doesn't matter to us. Oh, by the way, Bridger, same thing. malfunction with just the straps on his helmet. Give me a helmet. We don't want pity. We want to play.
So speaking of playing, I'm not. As the week goes on, can you make sure that we get information about how the homecoming thing, week or,
Well, that's not my thing.
Okay.
No,
So we'll find
because I'm not in charge.
Okay, so we'll find out.
It'll be on social
Okay,
media.
okay.
But like I don't know the schedules. That'll be Miss Turner. She does a great job with that, but I don't know at the moment. Like I said, it'll be on social media. It'll be on the Spirit social media, and all of that. But
Okay,
where
That's cool.
it'll list like each day, all that stuff. So when I see it, I can send it to you. But at the moment, I don't know what they are.
Okay. Now we're going to change gears a little bit, and we on our show yesterday, we had a pretty good time until the internet went out on Mr. Truitt. Thank God. Thank God. He showed up. He had an Indiana hat on, and that's cool. I'm good. And then he ducked down and came up. And today is the third Saturday in October.
Yeah,
which is
an angel gained his wings because his internet went
it is the third Saturday in October. Listen, college sports is a mess. They've screwed it all up, and they're going to have to fix all this craziness. But the one thing they haven't touched, and please don't ever, is the third Saturday in October, and it's going to be rocking on Rocky Top today. And I know we got some Alabama friends of ours that give me your thoughts, boys. Here, let's talk about Alabama, Tennessee today a little bit. What are we thinking?
But now I'm running off to sleep. I hadn't got a chance to
Okay,
process.
Chuck.
I mean, it's an orange out
But
at 3:30. Alabama's gonna come in with that ugly colored helmet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bottom line is we're gonna wear all orange and we're gonna wear them out. That's all I got.
You and Tosh have a room that's crimson in your house. You're gonna
listen,
do that.
Hey, there's one color that is banned in our household and up on that hill anywhere on that school, and it is any shade of red because we don't do that.
Got you.
So, but the third Saturday in October, Chuck, there's nothing like it. You're Ohio State, Michigan, and you get all that. But man, the third Saturday in October is like Christmas Day to a lot of people. It is such a special thing. The history of it, Coach Bryant, Coach Nealon, through the years, Coach Dooley, Coach Saban, Coach Fulmer, it's pretty special, Chuck.
Well, there's a point. My thoughts are that in order to make it such a great rivalry, Tennessee's going to have to start winning some of these games. And they have a team right now that can do that. They have a defense that can rock anybody's world. The number 2 total defensive team in the country is Tennessee. Texas 1, Tennessee 2, and Kentucky 3. And Tennessee, I don't know, and maybe Jonathan can speak to this, but the last couple games, it's as if they've kind of put an idler on the passing game and the quarterback. And yes, they've run the ball effectively, but not as effectively, and surely not. It was like, hurry up. We're going to run. But there's no pass in there. And, so they have an opportunity to really unleash the Kraken on a defense that's given up a lot of points and that has struggled a while, and that being in Alabama. Alabama can play like the world's number 1 team, and then it can turn around and play really bad. So we don't know in today's climate about these two teams. We do know when they get together, it is 3.5 hours of entertainment. And so I said yesterday, and I'll still stay with that. And not that I'm, I want to watch a great game, but I have, my fond affection for Jonathan. You're sitting there going, I want Tennessee to win because that's his school. It's like when rooting for LSU because we love Lloyd, but then turn around and I'm very close, and my close friend John Truitt is all Alabama, so you want him to win. And then I'm sitting in the middle thinking, I'll just entertain me because I know they will. My brain says that Bama will sneak out a win in this thing because I don't know what I'm going to get on Tennessee's offense. So I draw this question to you, Jonathan, because you know that Tennessee team better than us. Have they put that governor on these last two games, despite the loss at Arkansas? Are they not sure what they got at the quarterback spot? What can you tell me about the offense of Tennessee?
Well, I've said it on the halftime postgame show that I do. Not 100% sure what's going on. It does seem like they've held back a little bit. I wish they're the most effective when they go up tempo, like they did a couple years ago. Literally every play. So I don't know. I do know that our defense is good, but our defense struggles with a mobile quarterback. What does Alabama have? Mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. I do think it's going to depend on how many 3 and outs Tennessee can avoid on offense. I go with it's the old triple option wing T mindset of it's not time of possession, it's points per possession, right? It doesn't matter if you hold the ball for 32 minutes out of a 48-minute game. How many, you know what I'm saying? Those things. So it's points per possession. And Tennessee's on that spectrum, but the flip side of, I go back to 2022, I think it was 22. They played at Kentucky, and Kentucky ran like 99 offensive plays. I think it was 99. To Tennessee's like 40 or 50 or something like that. So, over double, right at double. But Tennessee wins because it was points per possession, not time of possession. You know what I mean? Like, because the offense they run is the quote unquote new age version of the old school veer. It's kind of, if you think about it, is what they run. So that's my thing is they've got to avoid 3 and outs to keep their defense fresh. So they don't have, so they're
not chasing Milton all
yeah.
day.
And so that's the thing is, do I expect a good game? Yeah. Do I know the outcome? I don't. But they've got, like I said, they've got to avoid 3 and outs, and that means you got to throw the ball on first down some. Not every time, but they've got to mix it up. I think they've been a little too predictable on first down just with inside zone.
I think
that's kind of the outside looking in synopsis of what they need to do, or what I would do type deal is quick game, intermediate stuff on first down here and there, a screen here and there on first down, just to keep the defense slightly guessing, because they are a run first team. I've been open about that. They are 100% a run first team.
Tailback's a beast.
And I've been on that dude's train since he was a freshman. Like, let's Samson, give that kid give him the rock. But he had 2 guys that were upperclassmen in front of him when he was a freshman. But that dude's been the most electric guy on campus since he showed up. That's just what it is. Like, that dude is give him the ball in any way, shape, or form.
But I think Chuck and Jonathan, from what I haven't done a lot of detail, but what I have read, what I've kind of looked up, and in the last few weeks here, we've had a lot of downtime to with everything that's happened. The Tennessee, it's not the quarterback to me, and it's not the running backs, and it's not the receivers. They're struggling at tackle. And to run that offense, both those tackles have to play well, and they have not played well. Those 2 guys, especially in the passing game, have not played well. The guy on the left side, and I'm not picking on him, I'm just telling you, he's not played well, and I think that has limited when both of you are talking about throttling back. I don't know that they totally trust this kid on the edge.
They don't trust the quarterback either, though.
Okay.
I'm just looking from the system. No, you're not.
I mean,
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not played well, but he's coming back from an injury. And it's not they don't trust the quarterback. They haven't opened up the whole playbook yet. He's a redshirt freshman. I get it. But this is Tennessee's offense of you live by the sword, you die by the sword, meaning 90% of their routes are option routes. That's why you take sacks, because you have to sit and wait to see which option he's picking. That is the negative of the system. You know what I mean? That's not a slight. That's the reality. Because when it works, it's electric. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't win on the option route, you can sit in the pocket a little long. That's the issue. That's where the tackles are on islands. So now they're getting a bind because the quarterbacks have to sit in the pocket because we're running option. Like it's a whole ordeal in that sense. But that's why I say you got to throw the ball on first down a little bit to help them out. And I'm not talking about deep shots. I'm just saying 10 and under, with whatever it may be. Just to try to help them out, because if we go run and pass on third down as a defense coordinator, what can you do? You pin your ears back and go. Now the tackles it's a lonely feeling at that point. I just don't. So I think it's a combination of everything, but I also think it goes back to understanding that the defense is really good. So let them bail us out. You know what I'm saying? There's just there's a lot of stuff going on, but I do want to say this, Chuck. I can't remember who you said. Who were the top three on defense?
Top three total defensive teams in the country: Texas 1, Tennessee 2, Kentucky 3.
Okay, cool. So SEC. Okay, I was just checking. I set you up on that one, Chuck. I set you up on that one, Chuck. I set you up on. Sorry. Sorry. I played that one off. I was sitting there going, "Don't show your cards too soon. Don't do it. Don't do it." Okay.
That's right.
So anyway, a big week for the Mountaineers. Congratulations to our ladies golf team who won another conference championship.
Yep.
I think that's 4 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Congratulations to them. We're gonna talk to the folks from the Big T Club this week and kind of get an update on where everybody is with that, and because I think a lot of people are trying to, they want to know who the people are, the new people, I guess. There's the youth league is going to have. I got a text last night. We'll talk this week about the youth league. There's going to be a really cool thing at CE Weatherby, maybe next Saturday, but I don't want to announce it till it's official, for our kids to be able to go out and play one more time this year. And so there's a lot going on. Homecoming week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say this real quick. Our JV team.
Yes.
Our JV team for everything that has happened to them this year, for them to go out and do what they've done, and the adversity, I guess you would say, that they've had to look in the face and go, this is who we are. That bunch right there, man, they're fun to watch. They've been tremendous. I don't think many people gave them a shot early on to be like, oh, you'll be this, you'll be this, you'll be this. The last 2 games, they've had to learn how to go out and win. Not on the aspect of just don't lose it. They've had to learn the game, and they've won both of them against Smoky the week we're supposed to play East, and then last week against West. Now we got Smoky again next week, which is the regular scheduled Smoky game. And then they're going to be in a tough spot. They're going Thursday, Monday, Smoky, Franklin. So that was with us and Coach Brooks saying we want our JVs playing 10 games. We want them playing. They deserve to play. So that'll be something where we're going to go Thursday at Smoky at normal 7:00. Then we're at Franklin the following Monday, the 28th at 5 p.m.
Wow. Say that again.
Yeah, you heard it, 5 p.m. on Monday, the 28th at Franklin. But our kids, we're going to play 10 games.
72 hours in 1 minute.
Yeah. And
that was the kickoff thing last night.
Yeah, but that was kudos to Franklin and Coach Brooks, and that was the thing. We wanted our kids playing 10 games. And so with how the varsity schedule lined up, we weren't going to play them on a Monday. after,
Yeah.
before our game, all that stuff. And so we got it in as soon as we could. It'll be this next Thursday will be at Smoky, and then the following Monday will be at Franklin. And the one at Franklin is at 5. But man, that JV, I'm gonna tell you, our JV team,
It will
scrappy. Scrappy will fight you till the end. Man, they're playing well. And just kind of the play that kind of defines their season. Or John Hanson, the quarterback, had a cramp. He had to come out of the game for a play. So we put our tailback back there, Sam Trantham, snap, miss. A snap ordeal, I guess you'd say, and it's 4th and 6. We had to go for it. Snap, and then it was kind of funny. We're on the headset, and he snaps it, and it's coming right towards us on the sideline, like at an angle. I'm kind of back behind him, like, oh, crap, because we're only up 6 at this point against West. And Coach Zach Shepard goes, he's going to house this thing. He hadn't even got to the ball yet. And I was like, no, he's not, Zach. There's 6 guys coming. You know what I mean? Touchdown. I'm like, literally, hey, he said, I'm going to go make a play. Everybody turned and went and blocked and made a play, and he scored from about 30 or 35 yards out. The way our JV team doesn't quit, and I looked at Coach Gibson, the offensive coordinator, and said, hey, man, just the way you drew it up. How you drew it up on the board, You can't say enough about how they've played on it all year. West Henderson was 5-1 coming into the game, averaging like 38 points a game offensively. They scored 14 on us. Those things. So our defensive staff with Branson, Sluter, Coach DBs, Coach Haynes, guys, we are.
Are you talking about Branson Reese?
Yeah. And
they've talking about Mr. Tusco.
They've done a tremendous job down there with our JVs, getting them ready to play each week. Short week. They didn't have practice on Tuesday because we had to play at 5, so they did not have a practice. All the excuses in the world, right? That's what I was saying earlier. We just want to play football. And our JVs are the definition of we don't want a pity party. No, we didn't practice Tuesday. So they practiced Monday, Wednesday, played Thursday. And went out there and played a hell of a game. That is so fun to see. It is. And for them they have set themselves up in conference in a good way. Obviously, we got a few more to go finish. So yeah, man, people come out and watch our JV. You'll enjoy it. It's a fun thing to watch. We got 2 more home games for JVs, North and Pisgah, on the 31st and the 7th. And then so obviously they got 4 games left. But they're a fun group to be around, fun group to watch, and I'm excited for the future because of how they've shown to not give up with the stuff that was thrown at them early in the year. We'll say it that way.
Yep. And it's you guys again. We didn't get the results the last 4 days that we wanted, or 3 days that we wanted. But you guys, if you all are building something, and those kids, it's all about those kids.
Oh, yeah.
Every kid in the locker room. But let me announce this, because if you guys will bear with me just a second, it's official now. The youth Mountaineers, the youth league, will be playing next Saturday. It's a benefit scrimmage against the Irwin Warriors. The pups will start at 10 o'clock in the morning, the termites at 11, the mites at noon, and the midgets at 1. There is no set entry fee, but they will be taking donations. And they're going to split the donations between Irwin and Waynesville organizations to donate to the relief fund of the choice. I think, number one, I think that's great. And that's amazing. And that's both of our communities. And I'm really proud of that, because that's who you and I are.
I'm Waynesville.
Yeah. But this is, and it's, let's see here. They're going to have food trucks, Kona Ice. I like Kona Ice, don't I? Yeah, Kona Ice. And it's an opportunity for the kids to be able to get out and play football one more time this year. So kudos to both those communities for stepping up. And the future, again, the future is bright.
Oh, yeah.
for Mountaineer football, because there's some studs down there. And Jonathan Palmer, have you got your contacts in, Jonathan Palmer? Watch Jonathan smile. Jonathan Palmer, have you got your contacts in? I probably heard that 10,000 times.
Yeah. And he's done a tremendous job at the youth. Those kids love him. He's turned into a hell of a coach, and I'm excited for Palmer.
Yeah,
I am.
So that's a big deal to announce. And again, thank you to everybody. So we're gonna get off here at 9:00 today. I got to get to the office. We got some folks coming in this morning, because I want to make sure we don't lose sight of the fact that, yes, it's beautiful, and yes, it's sunny, and yes, you can drive down the interstate and you go, wow, it's cool. But we are still in the middle of a crisis here, all over Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee. And I had a couple that got like a minefield that found us from Boone and came in the office. They had somebody bring them and go, man, we got nothing. We lost everything. We don't have a car. We don't have anything. What? Please help us. So we still have people in crisis. Help those in need. Be kind to people. I know that football is an emotional game, and we can all, including me, you go, wow. But, this is much bigger than football. And what you guys did this week was really good for our community. It was bigger than any win or loss or score. So be good to each other. A big week ahead with homecoming. Are we back on a regular school schedule?
Yeah, we were starting Wednesday last week. We went to school Tuesday, but it was travel delay. But no, back on a regular school schedule, which is good for the fact of kids, whether they admit it or not, they like structure. You know what I'm saying? And just stay on a normal routine.
Yep, that's why I love the military.
Breakfast at this time, lunch at this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are back on regular school schedule, which is good, because when I say we've got a bunch of great kids, I enjoy just them coming in the locker room, and as soon as you walk in the field house, there's my office before they get in there, and just seeing them be kids. That's it's fun for me. Honestly. So I'm probably more excited than they are to be back on a normal schedule. But the support from like just our team parents, moms and dads that have helped out. I promise you this. I was joking with a couple of coaches after the game on the bus once I was actually able to speak.
Calm down.
There was because I can tell you this, ain't nobody beating us in the post-game sandwich department. Okay.
That's a big deal.
No.
I'm joking.
No. Like our parents, and thank you to Biltmore Baptist of Waynesville. It's not built yet, but they donated money for all of our post-game meals for JV and varsity, which is tremendous. Once again, we have the best community. I don't care what anybody says. And our parents, and they could just, I give it, I'm like, hey, here's, y'all do you. Post-game meals. We charter a bus, so you can only have certain meals, from the bus company. I'm like, just get us pizza, burgers, whatever you want. They make turkey and ham and roast beef and cheese sandwiches. They make them for us on hoagie rolls. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay.
Well, Chuck and I didn't get one.
Are you on the staff?
Chuck.
Well, I think
Chuck,
that
I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, though, they come to the school, they load up all the Gatorades and coolers, put them in their car. Then the next parent comes and they get the meat. We've got a big refrigerator in there that they can stock all the stuff. They go get it out of that account, stock the fridge. They come on Fridays or Thursdays and Fridays, make the sandwiches. They don't have to take time out of their day to do it, and they do. Like that. Like I said, that's where I enjoy it, right? And these are the memories that are going to last forever for these kids and their parents. It's fun. It's fun to be around it. No, the outcome is not what we wanted. I'm the biggest competitor in the world. I don't give a crap. I don't care if I'm playing you. And we know that. That's how it works.
Because I'm in Fuego and you're not.
I'm okay. I'll let you have this one, right? But
Mom,
watching these kids there's it's something different being on this side as the coach than the player. I know the heartache they're going through. We've been there. But I've been around a lot of football teams. I have been around a lot of coaches, a lot of players. The resiliency and the brotherhood that this team has from freshman to senior is crazy. I mean, honestly, crazy. I'm going to give a shout out here to the Kruger family, right? Miss Kruger, Mr. Kruger. Josh graduated, right? They wanted to make the coaches breakfast just because, and they made us, by the way, side note, phenomenal. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Josh comes to the game last night. Obviously, great to see him. He's on the sidelines, all this stuff. He comes up to me and goes, "Hey, coach, so-and-so is going to be really good. I really want to be able to work with him in the offseason." Josh graduated and is at Lenore Ryan. That's the community we have. That's what's fun to see is everybody's bought in for everybody. It's not this kid versus this kid or this family versus this family. It's Tuscola. That's where I look at it and go, dang, like if we're only in year 2 of this, let's wait until year like 8, year 10, and see where this goes to. You know what I'm saying? Because it trickles down and it takes time to get to where you want to get as far as where it's the quote unquote well-oiled machine. We're really close to that. But I'm going to tell you, these kids make it where it's even closer because of how they love each other. And we preach that every day. Love your brother. Don't, and I try to joke with him again, don't physically fight for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go on the field and throw punches. AK referees, you should watch out for that when I tell you that twice in a night. But don't physically do that, but metaphorically fight for your brother. And hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, by God, they do. You know what I mean? When Gavin went in last night for the first time since week 1, did you see the other players on the field? Yes. I'm trying to signal the play.
Yes.
They ignored me.
Yes. Yes.
They completely ignored me signaling the play because Gavin got back on the field.
Thank goodness.
But you want to,
yeah,
because they love each other.
Yeah,
they do. So I had to re-signal the play. I'm screaming my head off as I'm horsing. My guys, pay attention to me. You know, their brother got back on the field.
Yeah,
from a hamstring injury week 1, and they were literally jumping and hugging. I'm like, guys, hey, I'm over here. Hey, signal. That's who this team is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's a little after 9. Chuck, I know that your morning was kind of thrown off. So and you and I will be back this week. My internet, I hope my internet, so we can do our regular shows and have Peter and get everybody up to date with the rest of the week coming up for homecoming and senior night. Any final words before we get off here this morning?
2 things. One, go Army. They play at noon against East Carolina.
Let's go.
And number 2 is I just learned an all-time greatest stat: points per possession. I'm 66. That's the first time I've heard of that. And I'm like, that is going to be my all-time favorite stat right now. Points per possession. That's awesome.
And I just want to say, Chuck and I'll be back with our regular show. Jonathan, I know that you guys got, right back into the grind. When you get with your staff, because I know we don't have a lot of time always to speak, but when you get with your staff, tell them that a couple of old broken down old guys said what you did this week. You didn't get the result you wanted, but was amazing. And thank them because I know how hard that all of you worked. So everybody, we're going to be good. Big game Friday night at CE Weatherby on Doug Brooks Field, homecoming and senior night. I can't emphasize that enough. Next Saturday, don't forget the announcement we just said about the youth program. And I'll talk to Ryan Sutton this week from Sutton & Sons Antique Mall to get all the update from the middle school, and kudos to our JV program. Yeah. So there's just a lot we trying to get in here before we go. Anything you want to tell say before we get off here, Coach?
No, I think we covered it, especially right there at the end. Just the just all around support. They all are like for once again each other, kids, parents, all that. You know, it's second to none. So on to work for next week, and go from there. I mean, I'll tell you this. I know who the kids will be in there ready, itching to go. I mean, I could tell on the bus ride back last night that they understood what we had just went through, and the fact of you can tell by their demeanor.
Yeah, just one play.
No, but they're going. You know, they know that we so they know that we know that they know that. I'm trying to be politically correct here. I won't against the referees. I'll always be honest about that. But they know that we know that they know type deal. That's a different ball game on a normal week. And our kids know that. Like, and you could sense that in the personalities. You never want to be on the losing end. But they're in good spirits. They're ready. They're ready to get back to work today. But obviously, stay your butt in bed. Rest up. You know what I'm saying? Take some Epsom salt bath. Like, rest your bodies, because it adds up.
We're in the grind.
I'm just saying it adds up. 3 games in 7 days. It doesn't matter if you're a Chicago Bears playing the Waynesville Middle School. That adds up to the Chicago Bears. Like, it's still physical. Now, granted, we're probably going to beat them because it's Waynesville Middle School versus Chicago Bears. We got this. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that's kind of the final word, is like, just let's get ready for homecoming, senior night, and all the festivities, and or the fans get ready for festivities. We'll do our part, and ready for a good turnout at CU Weatherby, and go from there.
All right, Chucky, I'll talk to you in a little while. Go drink your 1.5 gallons of Caffeine and Chaos. I'm leaving here. I'm going to stop by Sutton and Sons on the way down to my business and check on Ryan and see what unique thing I can get a hold of this morning. Thank you to everybody. Chuck, I'll see you later, bud. Go drink your coffee.
All right. Later,
See
Coach.
you.
See ya.